go ahead and just attach this guy right here. Open the container, take the other pipe in point. Plug it into the guy over here. Actually, probably plug it in right here, because that's more of a direct line. It's F5 to save. Link. Oh. Ah. I keep hitting L to link and his lights turn on. But now, let's go ahead and get you back in your house, or in your house for the first time. This is where you're going to be living for a very long time. I do not like how this thing is shaking. Turning SAS on does not help. Not a fan of the shaking, but you know what? We'll just have to live with it. Yeah, the fuel tanks are filling up. They are going to take quite a while. And we need to tack fuel balancer them anyway. So I am going to let this go and stop the recording, and I will be back when this is done. Okay, we're back, and we just refilled our fuel tanks. As you see, they're all full. The Kethane tanks over here, or the fuel tanks I should say over here, are filling up. 130, 140, 150, so that's looking good. The solar panels are all chugging away. These ones I think are going to almost never see sunlight, but I think all of them will see sunlight over the course of the day, because even the ones on the far north are going to see sunlight. So I guess I don't need to be speeding up time anymore. But we do need someone to go EVA, so let's have Sidri do it. It is Sidri's job, after all, to run this Kethane station here. And he or she is going to do the very scary job of detaching this fuel line after hitting F5. Unlink. Okay. And then grab, because we don't want to be taking that thing up and down like the guys on the moon did. Jeb, Bob, and Bill they're great explorers, but they're not very good at the day-to-day operations of a Kethane base. Some people are meant for certain jobs, and Jeb, Bob, and Bill are... Oh, Sidri. Sidri. I was just talking you up. I was just talking you up. Oh well, I was going to bring up a power station anyway. Can't trust Kerbals to do anything. Okay, well, the ship is fueled up. Sidri's on the ground. Sidri, you are about to get fired from the Space Corps, just so you know. Okay. The ship is fueled. The Kethane base is slowly drilling Kethane. Drilling and converting Kethane, right? 368. Why aren't you saying 369? Did the converter stop converting for some reason? Maybe the drills are probably using all the power now. So we'll just have to wait for the Kethane to fill up. Not a big deal. Okay, but it's time to launch our ship back into Space with a full tank of fuel. All 5 tanks are full of fuel. We've got 7,200 units. This is where I'm very curious how much fuel we're going to get off the surface based on how much this is. And by the way, you'll notice this is an alternate resource calculator, or whatever you want to call it. Not calculator, but we kind of want to go southeast, I guess, because going directly east isn't going to really cut it very well. So we're going to want to go, this is east, this is south, so we're going to want to go 225. But yeah, this is an alternate resource thing, and it shows you how much you have in the current stage, which is pretty awesome. I'm trying it out just to see what it's like, but so far I like it. So, why is nobody in our ship? There's nobody in our ship. Are they both in this thing? They are. Where the hell is Johnsky? Are you both in here? Yes, you're both in here. What the hell? Johnsky. I think Sidri was supposed to be the pilot, but you know what, Sidri? You sucked so much. Knocking our, Come on, Johnsky. Knocking our solar panels off. You're getting demoted. You have to run the base until you're better. Okay, now we have our full ship here. But okay, so we're going to be taking off to the 225. We have 7,200 units of fuel. We're just gonna. Something tells me this is upside down. It is. Damn it. You know, Bill wouldn't have done this. I'm just gonna go right to the horizon. I don't know what a good apoapsis over Minmus is. If I remember correctly, it's if you get over 10,000, you're fine. So we're just going to push this apoapsis up to 10,000. And we're not going the right way. We want to go this way. You just can't get good help. I'm saying this like it's their fault. Not my fault. Like it is. Which I'm going to run it closer to 90 until our prograde marker gets to 135. There's the base down there. They're like, what the hell is Johnsky doing? Yeah, I got turned around because, oh, I don't actually want this anymore. Because this thing handles pretty well. It's got one up here already. That was just to... That was just to get everything else down and still have decent control. And our apoapsis is over 10 now. So I'll fast forward till we're about 30 seconds away from it. Oops. Or maybe 10 seconds away from it. Whatever. We are on Minmus, which is extremely fuel friendly, as you see here. We should be able to achieve a pretty good orbit, even though we're only 5 seconds away from apoapsis. Yeah, so you're just tilting up the tiniest bit. Keeps pushing our apoapsis away. I'm looking at this 2.4 seconds here. What we're going to do is we're going to get our periapsis up to 10. And then we're going to set our space station as our target. And then we're going to go up there and we're going to dock to it and get some fuel in there. And that'll basically prove that we have a valid Kethane deposit. And that we can do this. And then we're going to move on to bigger and better things. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. This is going to be exciting stuff here. Let's see. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 10 kilometers by 11 kilometers. Should probably bring our landing gear up. I said we should probably bring our landing gear up. There we go. Okay, we have what you could call an orbit. I guess it doesn't really matter where I burn to bring my apoapsis out to the space station. So let's go ahead and do that right there. I guess I should have done it. If I was smart, I would have done it down here, but oh well. I'm not. Then we're going to add a maneuver here to seriously... let's see. Yeah, we're going to be coming up this way, so we're going to want to bring this thing down like this. We're going to want to set him as a target. And that's pretty much terrible. So we're going to want to bring it in. Oh, this is terrible. It's so hard to determine what does what when you're doing a crazy plane change like this, especially when the Kethane grid is overlaid over it. And you can't click on it to turn it off. There we go. Yeah, see, this needs to go this way. Now we've got that, but it's too big of an orbit. But you know what? I think we're going to live with it because it's going to cost to do it. And it's only 176 meters per second. So let's just do it. Kerbal alarm clock. Make sure you've got that on there. And I need to be above 1,200 meters before I can speed up faster. There we go. But we're getting close to our burn here. It's going to be a 2-minute burn, which I'm thinking is accurate because we haven't jumped away from the ship or anything yet. So we're going to start 1 minute and 10 seconds from it. Just let it go. So we'll be back when this is done. Okay, we're almost done with the burn here. We're about 15 meters per second left to go. Got a nice orbit is actually going to where it's supposed to be going. And you'll notice that the combination of... let's just kill this maneuver node. It's no good anymore. The combination of nuclear engines and doing this on Minmus has made this thing so fuel friendly that before on Moon, getting this thing to work, you know, getting an encounter with your station used up probably about 1/3 of the fuel. And here on Minmus, I can't even calculate it because I don't have time because I've only got 11 seconds before this 1 second burn. So hold on a second. There we go. Now we've got a really good encounter here, right at our periapsis. And now it's just wait and see what this thing brings us. Actually, don't need to wait and see. We need to... 32 kilometers on orbit number 6. What if we do 37 kilometers? None of these are very good. On orbit 17, we're going to be that close. Tell you what, let's go ahead and do it. How long is an orbit on this thing? Yeah, an orbit is about an hour and a half. So that'll be like a day. Probably in the future we should plan these launches a little bit better. It's like I think it was probably one of the worst launch windows ever. We're so good on fuel, we could instead of doing that, we could probably burn. And we got to do this burn anyway. So on our next one here, if we burn down, yeah, we can bring this guy down to us. See, we can't though without we have to actually burn back under. Which, how much fuel is that going to waste? 20, yeah, that's nothing. 20 meters per second is a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of fuel. So we might as well do it here. We just need to get it right. Whoop. Yeah, 0.2 kilometers. That works for me. And it is a 15-second burn in an hour and 23 minutes. If I could get... Come on. There we go. Tell me Kerbal alarm clock took that. It did. I should probably change the settings here. Kill time warp. Let's see. Alarm defaults. I like to and delete alarm on close. I like those details. Pause game. Specifics. Yeah. Okay, I think that's good. So let's speed up time here. Now, if I was smart, I would be speeding up time while I was sitting at my base up here. Although my base is now in the shade. It needs to be called something much better than Minmus Depot Sides Lander, that's for sure. Let's close the alarm. Get ourselves re-aimed at our maneuver node because, you know, for some reason it changed. It's a 15-second burn, so we only need to be about 7 seconds away. I probably shouldn't try to rename the vessel in 3 seconds. Let's go 8 seconds away. Now I can rename the vessel. Now I can't. What am I thinking? Okay, let's kill this maneuver node so we can see what we're doing here. And it looks like... that's the closest we're going to get. 0.1 kilometers. We'll go for it. Okay, now we want to actually rename this guy. Minmus Fuel Lifter. And that is a ship, not a lander. Let's see, it says we're going to be 10 meters away, which is pretty freaking amusing. So let's go 2 minutes before that. We'll add an alarm. And we're going to switch to this guy. So we're going to switch to this guy. Now, sadly, the sun has set, which means he probably has no power. Yeah, he has no electric charge whatsoever, so this is a wasted exercise. We cannot warp faster than 1 times while moving over terrain. There we go. So, sadly, though, this is not giving us any benefit because he's not actually doing any drilling. But at least we got a nice look of the stars spinning overhead, I guess. Let's jump to ship and restore target. And let's see, we need to aim away from our target. Our relative velocity is almost exactly what the target's velocity is, which is good. But we are going to almost hit it. Which is also good, really. I mean, this is a good approach. This is like Wash hitting that space station. I mean, I threw this dart an orbit ago, and look how close I am. Do not try this at home. This is a trained professional of Kerbal Space Center.